A note on Goldoni, o poveste cu haz. I have no idea what the translation is in English. And I looked it up on the internet. Probably I would eventually find something. It might be a story, a strange story or something like that. Lasă-l în pace, îți pot spune. But then I thought, what's the point? It doesn't matter because it was a disaster, a cabotinage. The very definition of cabotinage. And now a spoiler alert. It's not that I'm going to say what happened. It's the reverse. I will, from the way I thought about this, I will surely talk about anything but the play itself. Because it was such a disaster that I switched off attention in 2 minutes and then changed the channel in 5 or so. Knowing full well what will happen. So this will be more about, as I said, cabotinage, what I see as bad acting, and what might very well be, in fact, something that people like, but I don't. So it's not. I mean, I'm not the scholar, the critic, the professional who would say this is white, this is black, this is good, this is bad. I'm just giving some opinions for what they're worth to a virtual interlocutor. And I will speak, in fact, a little about one of the actors who was in the play. First of all, this made me think the way they exaggerated, they looked mean, funny, or it was, when I was thinking that still to find, the mind can make hell out of heaven, but also heaven out of hell. So this bad piece of acting, this terrible performance made me think, well, maybe it's not so bad what I'm doing, because once in a while, quite often, if not every time, I think, why am I doing this? I know it's part of therapy, it doesn't matter if there's someone or anyone on the other side, I'm not occupying much space, now they have enough for storage and on and on. So why not? Why add to the clutter? Why do this if you don't have something to say, or if you don't have the artistic talent and acting? There's so many actors out there. But last night I realized if they're doing this and they get paid for it, and it's forcing your attention on a national channel, then my thing here is so much better. It has so much meaning. I mean, so much more. How is that? Well, first of all, I didn't get people to pay, like at the theater, to enter here or to be there. I'm annoying very few from what I could see at YouTube shows viewers and that views. So this is an advantage. It may sound as, well, why you do this if there's no one, or just by accident a guest looks up and then switches off, changes the video. Well, that's the very idea, in a way. I mean, I'm not abusing anyone like those guys last night with my bad cabotinage. Here there might have been an oxymoron, but cabotinage is by itself bad, so sorry for that. Just cabotinage. But it was terrible, it wasn't just mediocre to me. And now to end with this guy, I mean, I have an explanation. I was thinking, There's another thing I learned last night. Why people vote for Trump? I might have thought of that before. Had thought, I think, but still, it became more pregnant with significance last night. Well, so there's this guy I meet at the pool, at the sauna, who's playing him. And he's so arrogant, so full of himself, like a small Trump. And I, again, had to prove why, well, he didn't vote for Trump because he's not different, but to me it sounds like one of his, if not typical voters, one of the groups who voted for him. I mean, this guy is, as I said, arrogant, narcissistic. I'm an actor, such a good actor. Yeah, I saw last night. It was the first time I saw him on TV, so to say, playing. Another time he was on talking about, he had a scandal, I don't know, he broke with his wife, and sometimes they take these celebrities on and they talk about their, I don't know what happened, I don't care, but I could see there was a kind of a Springer show or what, and I said, okay, now I have, but as a, in a play, this wonderful actor worthy of an Oscar. I saw him last night, and so as I said, at the pool, he's arrogant. He's cutting his toenails there in the locker room, and there was this gruesome, grotesque scene where some guy thinking that another one I know that we're talking with an artist, an actor involved in culture. He was talking about. I'm just saying Ida, but it didn't. It wasn't. It was a less known opera that escapes me now. Ida knows, and everybody knows. But anyway, I've seen at the opera last night. Anyway, and yeah, what? He was like Ida. What's that? Only it wasn't Ida, it was something more sophisticated. And I'm not, but at least I'm not involved in culture, and I don't go, what? And cut my toenails in view of everyone going around at this place. And to end with a, let's say, a professional opinion, because I'm just from outside seeing someone who has nothing to say, but he's just subconsciously saying, look at me, I'm so great, I'm so wonderful, and I'm in this play, and he plays something like a small Don Giovanni or something, but still, to me, it was like the actor was not really thinking that old paradigm which says the actor has to come and work with the brain and think of what we see and not get into the role, which is what this guy does, gets into the role, and furthermore, that's himself he's playing. So wonderful, and oh, look at me and my toenails, and to end with, so there's another actor, maybe I mentioned his joke another time, he had a good joke, a bit with beep beep, even if here with no one watching, we could use fuck, whatnot. So this other guy, I asked him, well, why is this, there's this man around there, and he's so arrogant, so precious, pretentious. I sometimes think I can't be in the same locker room. If he's there, I need to come back later, now, because I breathe the same air, and with this man you can't do that. It's so Übermensch. And why so precious? Indeed, came the answer from this other funny, good actor. One asks why. His point was, well, there's no need to be precious and pretentious and arrogant because he has nothing. He has no talent. He has nothing of value to offer. So why think you're so wonderful?